In a world overrun with the fake, delusional, and disingenuous, he stands as a beacon of truth. He is Abuki Cabal. You are listening to Abuki Cabal.
Welcome to the Abuki Cabal Show.
What's going on, everybody? Excuse me. Back at it again. Today I want to talk about the never-ending flow of accusations against men who have money in this country over the last couple of years. It just seems like it's a never-ending barrage of men who are supposedly taking advantage of these women. And when men ask for an appropriate investigation of the claims, what we usually get is basically to believe all women, believe the victims, believe them no matter what. Heard this with Cosby, we heard this, with R. Kelly, we heard this, with everybody. There's never any instance where a woman can take advantage of a man. And, it's almost a foregone notion that you will be convicted if any claim like this ever comes up. Mostly it's a he said, she said situation. But we have this situation with Trey Songz and Chris Brown. And, these ladies are having encounters with the individuals, and they're taking, I think, advantage of the characterization that some black men have in that who are in these high profile conditions. Chris Brown has a pretty bad reputation ever since the Rihanna situation. No one, wanted to take, any time to ask, what happened, to get the whole story. It's just that he's a woman beater, it's always, one dimensional with regard to violence in between, people who are clearly in a couple. And we all know that's not the case. We all know that people just don't do things just for no reason. There's always a reason. I mean, if you don't know nothing, there are plenty of shows out here for you to watch, to show you how investigations take place, how and why things happen, why people get beat up, why people get, other things done to them. There's always a reason. But for some reason in this Me Too era, it's a free for all for any man that you feel like has done you wrong. You have carte blanche as far as whatever your heart's desire is with regard to filleting a man at this point. But let's move on to the story. We're going to check this out, from a couple of different angles. Yeah, I know it's been covered already. If you haven't seen it, if you want to see, the super juicy cut down, I suggest that you go over to the Lead Attorney's channel and check it out. He did a great job going through this. Is very entertaining and funny as hell as usual. Shout out to Lead. And yeah. Let's take a look and see what we got here. So my question is this the future? Is this what the future holds for black men who have money, and who like to find themselves in the company of beautiful women, who, if they feel they have not been treated appropriately due to their beauty or them giving up their body or whatever the case may be, that they can come back and say that there was foul play. We saw this with Tupac. Years later, the young lady comes back and said Tupac never put his hands on her. Shout out to Vlad TV for putting that out and making that interview come to pass. She's a nice lady, but looks like Tupac saw that she was getting run through in the other room, and then he lost respect for her. But she was his girl at one point. Yeah. But then after that, she turned on him and said that basically he had done some pretty crazy things to her, which he didn't do, but he still served jail time. And now he's dead, and it's like, okay, well, now I'll tell the truth because, pretty much nothing's going to happen. But here it is all these years later, and nothing happens. If a woman comes out and she lies on a man, she is not held to any kind of accountability. There's no charges against her. She just gets to go on about her business and do it to somebody else and embolden all of these other women to go out and say, believe all women, and, things just continue as usual, I guess. Same thing happened to who am I thinking here? Had a lapse in my thought process there, but Mike Tyson. Same thing happened to Mike Tyson. Have a young lady comes up to his room after midnight. They have sex. Then he puts her out of the room. She feels used. She feels like, hey, he could at least walk me down to the lobby. He could, be seen with me, going down. He could treat me like a lady. But what did he do? He went in there and, he probably, had some sex with her that she had probably never had before. Then got put out of the room like she was a lady of the night. What we shouldn't realize is that men like that, they go through women. These men that have money like that, women throw themselves at them, all the time. So you come in there thinking you're a good girl, and then you throw yourself at him too. And then you think that you're special. But you're not. You were special for a minute. And then, hey, he's like, I'm out. So then there are hurt feelings. And then she goes back and she files charges. And then this man goes into prison and serves time. And, everybody just gets amnesia about how things take place, how people interact, how men and women interact, and how, what happens. What are the expectations if a person goes to a room and has sex with somebody and then leaves, and then, a few days later, the next day, you say that the man took it. We have certain expectations. If a man did something like that, then you're supposed to go to the authorities immediately. Not next month, not next year, not 20 years, 60 years down the road like we're seeing nowadays. But let's get into this. Trey Songz accused of a brutal R-word and new $20 million lawsuit. The lawsuit filed on Tuesday alleges the singer sexually assaulted a woman at a party in California 6 years ago. 6 fucking years ago. Amazes me. Just fucking amazes me. But let's look at these allegations. Let's look at this. See what's going on here. It's a little article I found. Trey Songz accused of brutal wreck. R word. And new $20 million lawsuit. Woman is accusing singer Trey Songz of a brutal R word. She says landed her in the hospital according to a new $20 million lawsuit. Y'all keep that in mind. $20 million is the magic number. This young lady also, the lawyer representing this young lady is also representing the lady who has made allegations against Chris Brown. Both asking for $20 million. Okay. The woman identified in the lawsuit as Jane Doe alleges that the R word by Songz in 2016 at a house party in West Hills, California, resulted in her being hospitalized for immediate emergency medical care. I wonder what that was. The lawsuit filed Tuesday, obtained by USA Today, states the woman and Songz had a casual and occasional sexual relationship. Prior to the alleged assault, the woman also trusted that she would be safe with Songz because of their previous relationship. USA Today has reached out to a representative for Songz for a comment. According to the lawsuit filed in Los Angeles County Court, Songz invited the woman upstairs at a party for a sexual encounter, which she said was initially agreed upon, but that Songz, whose real name is Tremaine Neverson, then repeatedly asked the woman if they could engage in anal sex, to which she repeatedly refused. Nasty boy. After entering the bedroom, Trey Songz turned almost immediately into a savage mangler, but she used the R word. The lawsuit reads, adding that Songz threw the woman to the ground and forcibly ordered her. Despite someone walking into the room during the assault, then exiting, the R continued, the lawsuit states. Okay. There are supposedly more accusations from a former UNLV basketball player accuses Trey Songz of the R word, says she has unbearable PTSD. Okay. The suit adds, after the alleged R, an Uber driver drove the woman to a Providence Joseph Medical Center emergency care unit in Burbank, California, where she received a sexual assault exam. The lawsuit claims the exam found severe anal tearing that could require surgery. Wow. The Burbank Police Department was also contacted, according to the lawsuit, and when they arrived, the woman, in shock and fearing for her life, refused to disclose Song's identity or his whereabouts to the police. Okay. The next day, police went to the woman's home, but because she was still terrified of Songz and in shock, she did not answer the door and the complaint says. USA Today has reached out to Burbank Police for more information. The woman is seeking the recovery of punitive damages for severe emotional distress, including fear, anxiety, humiliation, depression, and other physical and emotional injuries. She is represented by attorney George Verbeek, who is also representing two other women who have made accusations against Songz. Okay. All right. Here's this young lady, Dylan Gomez. And she put hashtag be strong, not silent with what seems like the endless recurring news of alleged sexual assaults committed by Trey Songz, I am forced to repeatedly relive in my mind and suffer anew a long suppressed horror and unbearable PTSD of my R word by his very hands at a well-known Las Vegas hotel. I want to send my love, strength, and hope to all who are victims of sexual assault and its fatal nature. I don't get that part. Okay. You are not alone. I stand with you and encourage all those who have suffered abuse to speak out and come forward. Suppression of our voices only emboldens our oppressors, and you cannot heal what you do not reveal. At this time, I humbly request my privacy, consideration, and compassion while I fully commit to pursue the best course of action and all of my legal options. Garcia Mi Gente DYL. Please direct all questions and inquiries to my attorney. Okay. Wow. Maybe let's look at her. Let's see what she's working with here. All right. There she is. There's her Twitter there. Yeah. Pretty sexy there. Nice looking lady. Little picture of there. She's got some abs. Yeah. She's very attractive. Let's see what else she got here. What else? There you go. Yeah, she's bad. Woo! All right. Okay, I see you. Okay. Let's move on. The Tuesday lawsuit comes a month after former University of Nevada, Las Vegas basketball star Dylan Gomez, whom we just saw, accused Songz of a January R word. Her at a Las Vegas hotel with what seems like an endless... Okay, yeah, we already read that. Okay. She did not say when the alleged incident occurred. Okay, last November, police said that they were investigating a sexual assault involving an R&B singer at a Las Vegas strip hotel. Police said at the time that Songz was cooperating with the investigation and no arrests have been made. Gonzalez encouraged other victims of abuse to come forward instead of suppressing their voices, saying it only emboldens our oppressors. You see that familiar language that as if women are being oppressed in every aspect of their lives by black men. They have been taught well. All right. Okay. Verbrecht is the attorney. She says also representing Gonzalez and Wahara Jeffries, who accused Songz of sexual assault at a New Year's Day party in 2018 while at a Miami nightclub, and refiled a civil suit against him in December 2021. Songz' lawyer filed a motion to dismiss that lawsuit Tuesday, claiming other members of Jeffries' legal team, Ariel Mitchell, offered a witness money to testify on the plaintiff's behalf. Verbrecht told USA Today that Songz' allegations against Ariel Mitchell are merely designed to divert attention from the horrific assault detailed in the recently filed assault. Nothing more. In the summer of 2020, Songz tweeted about the incident, writing, "Jane Doe, who claimed I sexually assaulted her in Miami, asked him to pay for her therapy and education because of all of the trauma she's been through." The singer also made headlines in 2017 when Keke Palmer accused him of sexual intimidation to cajole her into appearing into a music video, which she slammed him on social media for recording her at a party after repeatedly saying no, and again in 2020 over a claim of sexual misconduct made by the influencer. Selena Powell Pal's friend introduced only as Aliza on the No Jumper podcast, I usually stay quiet on this, but I feel that in many ways the movement to fight for the women who actually have suffered harassment and abuse on various levels has been hijacked by those who find it convenient for themselves to come up as they seek to destroy someone's life, he tweeted in response to the claims in 2020. All right, and this is just basically telling you about him, how he came up on the R&B scene, and we all know that. All right, so let's move to the second part of this story. All right, so here we have this young lady who is on Facebook that this was sent to me by one of my subs. And appreciate you, Saeed. And it's from Daphne Ford Sutton. Daphne asked this question. She says, I've seen Trey Songz trending on social media. We live in a world where a person can make a serious allegation and folks will believe it with no proof. I believe police reports and convictions. When I posted the video of the woman spiking his drink, folks were quiet, even with the video proof, but anyone can get on social media and make a claim, and the world runs with it. If the person did it, they deserve the max in prison. If it turns out to be a false allegation, the accuser should be locked away for a long time. If y'all want to cancel someone over allegations, make sure you keep that same energy, is all I'm saying. And you should have saw the responses that Daphne gets back. I mean, from other black women saying that basically, trashing her and trying to destroy her. But what she is exercising is logical thinking. It's only logical for people, objective people, to sit back and not act like they know what happened, but look at the evidence to figure out what happened. See, you have to go into an investigation objectively and not subjectively. But we find that this new movement is about getting at women's feelings. Make them feel for the person as if it happened to them. Then we're all victims. We all feel for each other, and we all collectively, and emotionally invest into this situation, whatever it is, for whatever woman it is. I call it circling the wagons. When you have women from that don't know anything about, what type of woman they're dealing with. All they know is her story, and then they circle the wagons. Whereas in the old days, church women didn't cohort with street women, and nor did they circle the wagons around a street woman. And what we have now is a bunch of women who just don't differentiate themselves from each other, socially or emotionally, and they just bind together to basically follow a one set narrative. And what I find is that the dysfunctional are louder than the functional. So the good women sit back and say, well, I don't have any friends like that. I don't know anybody like that in my circle. So then they sit back and say, hey, it doesn't affect me. So I don't care how many men are locked up and lynched and burned at the stake, as a result of this, or how many men are basically robbed in order to, for some woman to come up because she feels like, she has valued her, her coocheroo at $20 million. When they no longer feel like they want to have a relationship with them, then all of a sudden it is, there is sour grapes, And, I want $20 million for all the coochie I gave you. That's what it comes down to. They overvalue themselves. So this lawyer representing the women suing Chris Brown and Trey Songz speaks out. I'm up to 5 individuals, 3 against Trey Songz and 2 against Chris Brown. Okay? So she says all this and she put all of that up there. And then guess what happened? Guess what happened? I'll tell you what happened. But here we got we got Jada Pinkett here up here, and this is part of what we're dealing with. You got Jada Pinkett here, who basically had sex with an underage boy who was in a vulnerable state. Jada Pinkett was 22 years old when she was having sex with Chris, who was 15 years old. And this was one of the crisscross kids. Okay. And then Jada went on and had sex with, the other young man that was living with him. So, this isn't the first time thing with Jada. Jada's a freak for the young boys. Nobody's out here drumming up, any charges on her or trying to take her to jail. Okay? The women say Jada's innocent. She would never. He's dead. Where's the proof? We need proof. It's just an allegation. We don't believe it. Why is this coming out decades later? Some of the same things that we say. Okay? Then you got Mary J. Blige and Danny Boy. Mary J. Blige was 24 years old having sex with Danny Boy and he was 15. What do the women say? That's lies. Mary is innocent. He's gay. He doesn't even like women. I don't believe him. He's looking for a check. He must be out for money. Why wait this long to come out with the allegations? That's what the women are saying. But when we as men say, hey, well, come on now, let's get down to the bottom of this. Let's see what's going on. Because, I find it hard to believe this man is going from city to city, singing and having shows and just having his way with women in a brutal fashion, and nothing's happening. Nobody's going to she went to the hospital, but then she didn't say who the person was. You have an obligation to tell it. If that person has actually done something to you now, it doesn't add up to me that you had a relationship with the guy. He told you no, and you end up having, the backdoor action. And then, I can see where, you would be mad, and we don't know if that was some slippage. We don't know what that might have happened. We know she was pissed off and she went to go get checked out because she probably felt like she was, there's some things that happen physiologically that if you've never done that before and it happens, that you're going to feel like some things have changed. These things will come back to the way they were over time, but this reaction, you'll know it when you see it. Let me just say that. So, I'm sure she was going to go get checked to see if, everything was good to go. And she found that everything was good to go. Doesn't seem like she had any surgical intervention. She felt like she needed to have some surgical intervention apparently, but that wasn't the case. So let's go down here to Trey. Okay. The allegation, Trey is running around having his way with women. The women, I believe her. Keke Palmer said this years ago. Isn't this the 100th allegation? He did it. He looks like a predator. He did it. I know he did it. He just like R. Kelly. See, this is the same thing that they do with almost every black man that this comes up with. It is, you are guilty in the court of public opinion. You're not guilty in court. They convict you in the court of public opinion first, so that once you get to court, there's nobody out here that don't believe that you are guilty before you even set foot in there. So this is a part of that black brute stereotype that has haunted us ever since we came to this country, ever since Reconstruction. You know, just roving bands of black men that are out here just, you know, like apes, running around, animals, just taking advantage of women. You know, no evidence to support any of this. But when it's time to use it, it becomes weaponized by any woman that wants to use it. And it's believed. And we got to get away from this. We really got to get away from this. And, you know, I say that every man out here has a duty to not only, you know, if you see something like this happening and it is legitimately something that's happening, to one, stop it. You know, and if a woman is going through something like this and it is, you legitimately had something done against your will, you have a responsibility to go and do what you have to do, i.e. Getting medical intervention and reporting the name of the individual who violated you. If you don't do that, then you need to go ahead and take that on to your grave, get you some counseling, and do whatever it is that you need to do. And mothers and fathers out here, y'all have a responsibility to teach your daughters what it means to be accountable for one's actions. Don't say yay and then later say nay, or be convinced that somehow someone did you wrong based on the feedback that you get from other women after you describe it to them. Because that happens too. But let's move on up to this other story here. I'm going to go through this story and we're going to shut this down. All right. So here's the Chris story. So Chris Brown posted text messages allegedly from his R-word accuser in an attempt to clear his name after he was sued for $20 million. So the going rate for Coocheroo now is $20 million, up from 40 to 20 million. Here we go. Chris Brown, 32, shared text and voice messages on social media allegedly from his R-word accuser in an attempt to prove they had consensual sex. Brown was sued for $20 million in January by an anonymous woman who accused the singer of drugging and R-wording her on a yacht in Miami. The young lady texted him right after the next day and said, "I want to fuck you tonight at midnight. LOL." One message read, "You were honestly the best dick I've had. LOL. I just want it again. Read another." The accuser's attorney claimed that the text and voice messages were between Chris and her client. The lawyer is withdrawing from the case. Now, you remember the lawyer said she had 2 women that were willing to say that Chris had done something to him? You see how they go out and they go try to round up people to basically support that narrative? But that case was blown up because of her stupid client, who basically went up in there and lied on the best dick she ever had. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Not only did she do it once, she wanted to do it again the next day. In a subsequent post, Chris wrote that he and his team are taking legal action on this situation, suggesting he may countersue. Bravo, Chris. You are the pimp of the year. Bravo, Chris. All you brothers need to learn from this. Get you some receipts. Don't erase those text messages. Don't arrest those coochie pics. Don't arrest none of that. Okay, let's move on. Chris Brown is trying to clear his name in light of the sexual assault allegations and has shared communications reportedly with his accuser. On social media, the 32-year-old singer posted several text messages and a voicemail to his Instagram story, which he claimed were the same woman who accused him of drugging and R-wording her aboard a yacht in 2020. There's Chris saying he'll wait with a big smile on his face. Those messages were made public in an effort to show that their sexual encounter was consensual. Chris went on to say that he and his team are taking legal action on this situation, suggesting he may countersue. Check out Chris. Man, that's what's up right there. That's how you do it, bro. That's how you do it. Best of luck to you. Keep up the good work. Believe all women my ass. Speaking out. All right. Matter of fact, here, maybe we need to play this.
What time is it? Put the time and date.
Well, you're giving me like signals. You're like reading my messages and stuff, and you haven't blocked me yet, so I'm guessing you don't hate me. I just want to see you again. I mean, just answer the phone and you just hung up. Like, just let me know. Like, if you want me to leave you alone, I definitely will, but I really just want to you again.
So Chris say he'll wait. And there you have it. Young lady says that she just won't fuck him again. And
obviously somebody's looking to get a check or start some shit. I don't know this old looking. This bitch is old, like dusty. Look at her in the Jason Derulo's video. Like, she came to Vegas. She probably came to my room. It was too ugly to get in.
ooh. Ooh. All right. That's ridiculous, y'all. Ridiculous. Okay. According to TMZ, the communication began after their encounter on the yacht in Miami in 2020. Okay. They had a text message that he sent out. All right. The veracity of the screen grabs have not been independently verified, independently authenticated by dailymail.com. However, the accuser's attorney claimed to TMZ that the text and voice messages were between Chris and her client. The lawyer added that she was not made aware of the messages by her client and would be withdrawing from the case. Lord have mercy. All right. Here's what she said again. I want to fuck you tonight at midnight. LOL. One message read, you were honestly the best dick I ever had. I've had. LOL. I just want it again. Read another. Voice message, which a friend of Chris played off of the singer's phone in a video featured the female voice of the complaining that he wasn't answering her calls. I just want to see you again, the woman said. Just let me know if you want me to leave you alone. I will, but I really want to fuck with you again. The woman did not identify herself in the voice message. The With You singer followed up those posts with a text note to his followers. No more dragging me through the mud. Clearly you can all see the cap. He wrote, Now let's see if the media will keep that same energy they had trying to destroy me, the run the real story. That's what he said. Okay, cap is a reference to the slang term for lie. Okay, he added, me and my team are taking legal action on the situation. You don't play with people's lives like that. Chris then shared a selfie with the caption, I'll wait. Okay. All right. At the end of January, an anonymous woman filed a suit against Brown for allegedly drugging her and then R-ing her on December 30th, 2020, according to the documents obtained by TMZ. The filing claims the sexual assault took place aboard a yacht that was docked at Sean Diddy Combs' home on the Miami Beach Star Island. The Jane Doe, who described herself as a professional choreographer, dancer, model, and musical artist, said Brown greeted her aboard the yacht and asked her if she would like a drink before motioning her towards the boat's kitchen area. The filing claimed that he gave her a red plastic cup inside the kitchen that was filled with a mixed alcoholic drink. After they chatted, the woman said that Brown refilled her cup, and after she began to drink again, she says she started to feel a sudden unexplained change in her consciousness. And this is where all the women started getting all teary-eyed and go, oh my God, he must have put something in it. As if they've never been out drinking and doing all of the stuff that their parents told them not to do. You know? So then she claimed that she felt disoriented, physically unstable. That's because you were drunk. And started to fall in and out of sleep, at which point Brown allegedly ushered her into a bedroom. Her filing stated that the Beautiful People singer closed the bedroom door and took off her bikini bottoms before he began kissing her. Jane Doe alleged that she mumbled for him to stop, but that he proceeded to R-word her. After he climaxed, he allegedly got up quickly and said he was done. The filing claims that Brown contacted the woman the following day via text message and demanded that she take a plan B to prevent the possible pregnancy. After the lawsuit was filed, Brown hit back at the accusations on social media, calling them some real bullshit, and writing off the very serious claims as lies to detract from his latest project. He says, I hope y'all see this pattern with the cap emoji. He pinned, whenever I'm releasing music project, they try to pull some bullshit, some real bullshit. So Brown has a long list of legal entanglements in the past, most notably his brutal assault of his then girlfriend Rihanna. See how they always throw that shit off in there? It's like he can never escape. You know, he ain't just whooped Rihanna's ass for nothing. I can guarantee you that. I'm sure she must have slugged him, did something to where he could have possibly killed them both in that car they were in over some mess, which she said that he took a call from a woman that she got pissed off about. And you know how women do, especially black women. You know how black women do. They call themselves protecting their honor from a potential rival. But here we go. Brown, in the early hours of February 8th, 2009, he got into an argument with the work singer and ended up assaulting her badly enough to require her hospitalization. He was charged with a felony assault and making criminal threats the following month, initially pleading not guilty before pleading guilty to a single felony count. He was ordered to serve 5 years of probation and community service and counseling for domestic violence. Okay. A few years later, in 2013, his probation was revoked after an alleged hit and run in Los Angeles. He did not serve prison time. I'm not going to go through all this shit. And you see, this has clearly affected Chris. Chris has gone from a clean-cut looking young man to, this guy right here. Very talented young man. I like his music, but clearly that situation damaged Chris psychologically from having to go through that, All right. So, these allegations and the things that these women do to try to destroy these men after the fact are not without consequences. But nobody gives a shit about the men that these women do this to, because they feel like, hey, fuck it, he's got money. If he's got money, then, it doesn't matter. He can just pay the woman off. He can do whatever it is that he needs to do, but he's a man, he's got money, get the bag is what they say. What they say, get the bag, under any circumstances, get the bag. That's the way these women are talking. That's what all of the songs are telling them to do. That's what society is telling them to do. All they got to do is look like an Instagram model and get the bag. You don't have to do any hard work. All you got to do is just go give up the goodies to some guy with some money and get saved. It's the Disney princess narrative. It's that magical thinking. This is how we get into these situations. And now we have a whole movement built off of the backs of dead black men, so that this gets the spotlight. Believe All Women gets the spotlight. Me Too gets the spotlight. And the Alphabet Mafia gets the spotlight. And what do we get? This is what we get. We get this new reality where you got to look over your shoulder every time you have some kind of sexual interaction, with a woman. She has to say, yes, 6 times and spin around and, take off her shoe and put it upside down, and write a special code on the fucking door in order for it to be a legitimate sexual encounter now. And this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, and something needs to be done. I think this young lady needs to do time. I think that anytime these allegations come up and they are not immediately taken to the authorities and something is being done and the person being named, then they should be thrown out. You should not, give these people these, whole cards that they can use at any opportunity for them to be able to basically give that whole card out, have them some grimy sex, then they ask for the whole card back, and then they can say that you sexually assaulted them. That's their ability to basically go back and deny their past and all of the grimy stuff that they like to do, and then still be upstanding. So later on in life, they can be a Stepford wife after they done all the hoeing that they want to do, because they feel like that's what men do. Well, men can do it, so I should be able to do it too. So that's where we are, And I'm just asking a legitimate question. Is this acceptable? Does anybody out here feel like this type of activity is acceptable? Because it's becoming more prevalent in our community. Look, we know that, white women have been doing this forever, but now black women starting to do it too. So how do we fix this? You know, when is sensibility going to come back? When are we going to stop circling the wagons around, you know, whole shit? You know, when are we going to start making people accountable for their actions? You said this is what you wanted. That's what you got. If you order a fucking Big Mac and they give you a Big Mac, you were supposed to get a fucking Big Mac. Right? That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to be sensible. But I appreciate y'all listening. I think I spent enough time on this shit. This is some real pathetic shit. You know, these are the high profile ones, but there are low profile ones in every city. Not to mention the ones where the girl is young and she acting like she's old. She got fake IDs and she's, you know, taking guys down through there who are unwitting, but yet they're still being held accountable under the law. But there's no accountability for the bait. They know they're bait. You go out here looking like you're older than you are. You go out here looking like a hot snack, and you put yourself in the presence of lions. You know, somebody gonna want to taste, and they ain't taking it against their will. You can't tell me that you're not in there because you want to get tasted. Maybe I've said too much. You know, I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. But to me, I think this is some bullshit. But I appreciate y'all listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. You guys are the greatest.
I feel like a